Okay, so for the footwork series, we're going to make sure that your straps are out of the way, either hanging in the footwell or secured to the hooks. Your choice of headrest, and then just making sure your shoulder rests are nice and secure. You can choose to put the foot bar in the highest position is ideal, but if you would like to work a little lower, it's not a problem. And then for the weights, I have mine in the middle position, and I have 2 red and a blue, but you're also welcome to choose any variations of that depending on what kind of resistance you'd like to strengthen the legs today. All right, so coming to lie down in the reformer, I just try and encourage you to do a little side lying and then rolling over to lie onto your backs. And so from here, I have my heels pressed evenly onto the outside of the foot bar. I'm trying not to tense my ankles too much and have a little bit more of a flat line in the foot, making sure that all 5 toes are as if they were standing on the floor. And then I'm checking in with my pelvis, depending on how much I would like to imprint or just allow a natural arch today, just checking in with how the pelvis feels. And then I'm going to take a couple of deep breaths just to massage the diaphragm down and trying to release any tension in the solar plexus. At the same time, I'm rounding my shoulders down the back and making sure that I'm snug in the shoulder rest position so that I'm not automatically pushing the shoulder rests away by lifting my shoulders. I really want to feel that resistance in the lats and the core. So you can face your palms up to the ceiling and just do a couple of deep breaths here to imprint the spine. Inhaling and then exhaling, massaging the diaphragm as if your diaphragm is swallowing your belly button. Inhaling into the lateral part of your ribs, relaxing the neck and the jawline, and exhaling, lifting the pelvic floor and massaging the diaphragm down and magnetizing towards the pelvic floor. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And then from here, we'll go into our drop knee. So we're going to reach the right knee over to the left heel, allowing a nice deep stretch into the sides of the hips and the lower back. You can reach the shoulder out, the right hand out in opposition, and then using your abs, draw the knees back to center. And swing the left knee down to the right heel, feeling that gorgeous deep stretch in the left spiral line of the body. Left arm grounds and reaches in the opposite direction. And using your abs to bring you back to center. And then just in your own time, enjoy those knee sways, checking in with the pelvis, and noticing how the lower back feels. And then when you're even, come back to center. If you would like to add a little hug your knees to the chest, if your lower back needs it, you can kind of give yourself a squeeze here and just help your lower back imprint a little bit more if you're feeling a little tighter. And you could also go into your pigeon stretch, so reach the right knee away and your right heel's pressing against your left knee, giving it a little sway and a little wiggle. And then switching sides, left heel over to the right knee, and then pushing the left knee away, giving it a little sway. Really trying to relax the diaphragm and the lower back. Good. And then from here, we're going to start in the wide position. I'm parallel with my legs, so they're not too turned out or too turned in, and my patella is in line with the talus. So I'm making sure that my feet aren't over-rotating either. Then I'm going to take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, engage the pelvic floor, and straighten the knees to extend. Make a little bit more room in the pelvis, soften the diaphragm, and allow yourself to connect to your crown energy. And then we're going to inhale on the way back. Exhaling, push all of the way out. Feel a subtle spiral in the upper thighs, and inhaling to return. Inhaling Exhaling, pelvic floor knits, diaphragm softens, pull up the knees all the way. Inhale into the side body. Exhale, extend. Inhale, return. And we'll do 4 more. Inhaling, softening the shoulders. And inhaling, return. Feel the stretch in the hips. And then last one, reach all the way up. Get a little space. Spend some time here allowing yourself to integrate the spine sensation. And then inhaling, come all the way back. Good. Now we're going to go into turnout. So the feet, the ankles, and the knees will all rotate. Same thing. Inhale, prepare. And then exhale, push all the way out. This time feel a nice spiral of the upper quad. Make any adjustments necessary so you feel a wrapping from the upper thigh. The pelvic floor lifts so you get a stretch in the psoas. And then inhaling, return. And inhaling. Good. Making sure that you're not too tense in the ankles. Good. And from here we'll do 5 more. So we'll wrap and lift the pelvic floor and inhale to come back for 4 and 3. Knit the ribs and the obliques and 2. Good. And last one. Good. And rest there. From here, we're going to go into knock knees. So internally rotate the legs. Allow the knees to touch. Feel a little width in the sit bones and a relaxation in the lower back. From here, inhale, prepare. And then exhale, open the legs. And then resist as if you're crushing a walnut between your inner thighs on the way back so that we strengthen in 2 directions. Inhaling, widen the ribs. Exhaling, narrow the pelvis. Good. And we'll do 6 more. Inhaling. And 5. And 4. Relax the ankles. Relax the neck. And for 2. Good. And last one. And rest there. Good. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Shake your feet out. And then from here, we're going to place the feet into the parallel leg position. You can choose to either work a little wider, that your heels or toes will be hip distance apart, or you can glue your legs together. I'm going to glue the legs together so I have the proprioception of my big toe, ankles, knees, and thighs to really gather myself towards the midline. We're going to go into running, so relax the shoulders. Inhale, prepare. And then exhale, straighten your legs and extend the knees. Pull up the thighs. Feel the downward flow of the hamstrings. Lift the pelvic floor. Stretch the pelvis. Roll the shoulders down the back and connect to your crown energy. Keep this tension. You're almost reaching so far out that you could lift without arching the back. Remember, the work is in the top of the hamstrings. And then from here, we're going to inhale. And then exhale, stretch one calf below the foot bar. And then breathing throughout, you can gently switch and stretch, making sure that your ankle is in line and that your heel is pressing over the second or third toe and you're working the arch of the lifting foot. Inhaling and exhaling as you need, enjoying a juicy stretch down the back of the calf. Stay relaxed in the shoulders, stay present in the spine. Keep checking in with your connection of the diaphragm and the pelvic floor. Good. And then you can work a little faster if this is starting to feel good. We'll get a little bit more percussive with the breath. So inhale when the legs are together, and then exhale as you reach one heel down. Good. And then from here, double legs, reaching, heels pressing together, thighs together, knees together, and slowly come back with your high heel position. Good. Shake the feet out and give yourself a little squeeze. Good. Then we're going to go into high heels. So we're going to lift the heels high, press them together, engage your hamstrings before you leave. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale, push down in the foot bar, lift the pelvic floor up, and melt the diaphragm. And then from here, we're going to inhale, return. We're going to go for 9 and 8. Narrow the pelvis. And 6 and 5. Squeeze the rhomboids. And 4 and 3 and 2. Gather the thigh bones. And 1. And come back to your starting position. Then from here, we're going to go into wrap toes. So curl your heels below the foot bar. They continuously are trying to reach below the foot bar throughout the exercise to stretch your Achilles. Inhale to prepare. And then exhale, push all the way out, squeeze in the knees. And 9 and 8. Gather the ribs and pelvic floor. And 7. Check in with your obliques. For 6. Glue the legs together. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. And coming back to the starting position. Then from here, we're going to go into little first position. So the heels are pressing together and the toes are out. Wake up your rotators by placing your fingertips onto the outside of the knees and resist. Waking up the deep glutes, roll the shoulders down the back. And then from here, inhale, prepare. Engage the pelvic floor and exhale. Rotating the thighs. Inhaling for 9 and 8. Squeeze the legs. And 7. Lengthen the waist. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. And rest there. Good. Shake the legs out and do any kind of organic movement that feels good to you. Any stretches. And swing the knees perhaps. Good. And then from here, we're going to go into our high heel position with our turnout. So this time our toes are on the bar and the inside of the heels are lifting up towards the ceiling. So I have a gentle spiral in the ankles. Then from here, we're going to press with our fingertips onto the outside of the knees and again to wake up our rotators. Inhaling, prepare, and then exhale, engage your pelvic floor, spiral the inner thighs, and push all the way out, getting a little bit more space, and reaching for 9, and 8, and 7, breathing throughout, and 4, poke your obliques, and 3, connect to crown energy, and last one, reach all the way out, good, and come all the way back in. All right, so that's it for our foot series. Okay, so for the mid-back series, lying down in our tabletop position, I'm going to go into 3/4. For this, I have my weights on the blue one and the white one for the quarter. Often people like to do 1 red for arm work or even up to 1 red and 1 blue, so 1.5. So just pick your poison today and do what feels good for you. And so again, when I lie down, I'm doing a little sideways on and then flipping over. And I've added my little ankle weights here just to kind of challenge my abs a little bit more because I'm going a little lighter on the arms and then trying to integrate the body a little bit more fully. So you'll probably see that I kind of bring my knees in a little bit more so that I'm not straining and arching my back here. So I'm kind of cheating the 90-degree a little bit more, but again, do what feels good for you. You could always float the legs up a little bit more or change the position so that you're not straining in the neck or the lower back. So we're going to start off rotating the hands so we have that nice karate chop reaching down towards the ground. So we're more in the outer parts of our triceps, shoulders, and lats, and even our oblique line. And so from here, I'm going to inhale, prepare, roll the shoulders down the back to initiate, and then reach the fingertips down towards the bottom of the reformer. I'm trying to really elongate the shoulders and open the collarbones and integrate the core. Inhaling, arms up, and exhaling, feeling the wide back, and then integrating the core through mind on my obliques, mind on my transverses, and magnetizing the pelvic floor towards the diaphragm. We're going to do 5 more here. And 4. Following the timing of your own breath. And if you're a little slower, that's okay. And we'll do 2 more. And the last one. Then we're going to go into angel arms. So reach the arms slightly out to the side, rotate so the eyes of the elbows are pointing towards the ceiling. Keep the fingertips reaching out towards the side so that you're almost tractioning the shoulder joints open. We're going to inhale and then exhale with the pinky slicing in towards your hips, and then inhaling, open the arms once more. Exhale. Really try and get that elongation of the shoulder joint by reaching your fingertips away from your body. Relaxing the jawline and the neck and taking rest whenever you feel any tension build up in the neck or the lower back. We're going to do 5 more. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And then coming into tricep press. So bend the elbows at 90 degrees. You may choose to bury them into the reformer behind you, or just depending on your shoulder shape, you might feel your triceps a little better with your elbows hovering slightly above the mat. So from here, we're going to inhale, and then exhale. Again, reach your fingertips towards your toes. Inhaling, feeling the wide back. Your upper arm bone is still slightly rotating outwards. And we have 7 more. 7 and 6 and 5. Still connecting to crown energy, mind on the core, and then looking for any extra bits of tension that may build up. And we'll do 2 more for 2 and 1. And then you're going to go into a little rotator cuff. And so it's kind of like the chicken wing. Your palms are going to face the ceiling. You're still going to bend at 90 degrees, but this time your hands are in the side plane. And again, if you are in the rotator cuff, you might need to do slightly less of these. We've got 7 more. For 7, inhaling on the way up, exhaling on the way down. And we go for 5 and 4. Still mind on the shoulder blades. And 2, good, and 1, and then we're going to take it into the full arm circle. So reach the arms up and over the head, but try not to lose tension in the machine. We're going to widen the fingers out to the side, and then exhale, reach your fingertips down. Inhaling and exhaling, mind on the scapula and the muscles below the scapula, your lower lats and your lower troughs. And we'll do 7 more. And 6. Resisting on the way up for 5. And 4. And 3. Still rotating your upper arm bone. And 1. And then let's reverse. So your arms are going to reach down towards your toes, parallel, and then you're going to rotate your palms slightly towards the sky, and then bring your arms back to the center. And we have 8 more. And 7. 6, rotating the arms for 5. Keep your fingertips reaching away from your body to elongate the joints. And we'll go for 3, and 2, and 1, and rest. And then we're going to transition into a little ab work. So we're going to prepare with our tabletop position and then bringing the hands together in a triangle. And so from here, ideally, you're going to lift the head, but if it doesn't feel good, you don't have to do that today. So we're going to inhale, exhale, squeeze the knees in towards the nose. Really recruiting the pelvic floor. And then we're going to go into obliques. So the knees are going to go slightly out to the left, and then the triangle is going to go to the right of the knees. Inhaling in the center and exhaling opposite side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale center, exhale obliques, and we'll do 2 more on either side. Really initiating the movement with the lats, recruiting the pelvic floor. And good, resting there. And then from here, we're going to go all the way up into the hundreds. So prepare the legs in tabletop position. We're going to inhale, chin to chest, and reach your fingertips down towards the bottom of the mat. Legs can be in tabletop, or you can extend them as low as you want. We're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend the legs if it's feeling good. And exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last set. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Knees in, hands rest, and head down. And give yourself a little shake out. A knee sway is always a welcome invitation after some crazy ab work. And then we're going to go into a little set of doing our bicycles and our leg circles. And so from here, we're going to prepare the legs in tabletop. Curl the head up and reach the fingertips out. And then you're going to reach the right knee in and the left foot out and switch. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Knees together, lower them, and then lower your head. Next time we do our bicycles, we're going to do them a little bit more with an oblique. So the opposite shoulder is going to be reaching towards the opposite knee ever so slightly. And so inhale, prepare the legs. And then exhale, chin to chest as you come all the way up. And we're going to go inhaling. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Knees together and lower the limbs. All right. And then from here, we're going to go into leg circles. We'll do 4 in each direction. You can moderate the size of the circle depending on how your abs and your lower back and your neck feel. Prepare the legs to tabletop. Inhaling, exhaling, extend the legs out, and we'll go for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Reverse. Going for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Bend the knees and lower the head. Okay, So for the Pelvic Bridge series, I'm just checking in with the headrest and making it sure that it's in the down position. And then I'm going to place about 2 springs on. Generally, the weight is just to anchor the bed so it doesn't move because we won't be pushing out in this series. So I'm also going to add the little weight in the upper body. You can use the kettlebell just as easily. And so I'm going to start off with the wide position here. And then from here, I'm going to extend the arms out towards the ceiling. And then I'm looking for the weight to kind of ground my shoulders in the back so the lats are feeling pretty planted into the reformer behind me. I'm just going to lock out the arms to start. And so inhaling, exhaling, you're going to recruit the pelvic floor and imprint the lower back. Really sneaking the tailbone long before you begin to lift up and peel the vertebra off one at a time. Connecting with your rotators so your knees are sturdy, trying to connect in with the hamstrings so that you're not overarching the back, but you're staying in the connection of your gluteal folds. And then from here, we're going to bend the elbows and then exhale, work that gluteal fold in your pulses. Inhaling and exhaling. Really using the weight to kind of reach between your knees and bringing the weight over your hamstrings to target that gluteal fold. And we'll go for 7 and 6 and 5 and engage the pelvic floor, inner thighs, hamstrings on each and every pulse for 3 and 2. Good, and last one. And then we're going to roll down, massaging the spine onto the reformer and bend your elbows. Good. So from here, we're going to bring the heels into our parallel hip position or slightly wider. We're going to lock out the arms to begin and repeat the same exercise just with a different leg position. So press into the heels to recruit the hamstrings. Inhale, lengthen the crown energy. Exhale, recruit the pelvic floor and peel the spine off nice and slowly, focusing on the gluteal fold connection and then gently lifting the ribs off. And so I'm not trying to arch my back here. I'm just staying in as long as I can make my lower back here and working the wrapping of my upper thighs. And so from here, let's inhale to pulse and lower. Exhale, extend for 10 and 9. And 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4. Relax the ankles for 3. Make sure you have even hips and even pressure in your heels for 1. Good. And then you're going to slowly roll down, peeling through the vertebra. This is the super therapeutic part. Good. And then from here, we're going to go into our single legs. So we're going to prepare the same way. Extend the arms out to the ceiling. Feel the backs of the shoulder joints. Inhale, prepare the spine. Exhale, press the heels in to engage your backbone of your body. Recruit the pelvic floor and peel the spine off 1 vertebra at a time. This time you can either bring the leg to tabletop or extend the leg all the way out. And we're going to do single leg pulses. Just slightly lower for 10. And 9, and 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And let's go over to the other side. So pressing into the heels, finding that gluteal fold, tabletop on the other leg, or extend it out to the ceiling. Slightly lower, and let's pulse for 10. Even hips the entire time, even though the legs are imbalanced, recruiting both sides of the obliques. And let's go for 6. Try and straighten the knee of that extending leg. For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Lower that heel. Press up once more, and then slowly lower the spine, one vertebra at a time, and dropping the weight. Good. And then from here, we're going to go into a little hip circle. So we're still hip distance apart in the bottom. We're going to inhale, prepare. Exhale, peel the spine off, one at a time, bring the weight with you. Then you're going to shift your weight over to the right, gently lower your pelvis and swoop it over to the left, and then continue the circle in the opposite direction. We're just waking up the side of the hip stabilizers, and again, you're working on the gluteal fold area so that the tailbone can stay really long and there's no pressure in the lower back. You might feel your lateral hamstrings working a little differently. You might feel your inner thighs working a little differently. And then when you're even on both sides, press up one last time, down one vertebra at a time, and then just allowing the weight to rest kind of on your body. It's kind of fun just to relax the diaphragm. One deep breath here. Good. All right, so for a side lying leg series, I have one spring and one red spring and a blue spring here. And then I'm going to lie down, and I'm going to put the leg in the strap. So it's the right hand strap, which I'm lying on my right side, and then I'll place the leg into the left leg into that strap. Good, and so from here we're looking for that elongation again from the heel all the way to the ear. You can roll your shoulder down the back or use it as a little bit of a support here on the shoulder rest. And so we're going to start off with stop your kick, making sure that we don't round the back. So as your heel glides forward, there's an equal and opposite energy coming out of your tailbone. And then from here I'm going to exhale and then drag the heel back to underneath my body. And so I'm going to inhale and exhaling. And we'll do 3 more here. So we're basically going to do 5 in parallel. And then we'll switch it over to our turnout, looking for a balance of the inner and outer thigh. Then I'm going to pivot my toes to face the ceiling, and the inside of the heel will lead. And inhaling as the leg brushes forward and exhaling as it brushes back. Breathing into the back body, thinking of the right side underneath me, really lifting up. We've got 2 more here. And then last one, we're going to inhale and exhale. Then from here, we're going to pivot the toes to point to the ground. And then from here, we're going to elongate the energies out of the heel. Bring the heel slightly behind the body. You might need to adjust your head slightly. And then we're going to do 10 circles in each direction for 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And in the opposite direction, isolating the pelvis and the femur for 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Then we're going to do 90-degree leg bends, so reaching the leg to around 90 and then extending it. We're going to do 5 in parallel and then 5 turned out, trying not to tuck the lower back or the tailbone. We've got 3 more, resisting in 2 directions. Using your breath, mind on the gluteal fold. So we'll inhale, and then let's rotate the leg out to the side. Inhaling here, and extending, spiraling the thigh, reaching the energies all the way out. And we'll go for 4, and 3, and 2, and let's do last one here. Inhaling, rotate the leg all the way up, feel the energies reach. Good. And then you can come into your favorite stretch. All right, and then moving over onto the other side. Feeling that plumb line of the leg. Gonna inhale, brush the leg forward, tailbone is sent back, elongating from the hamstring. And I'm gonna do 5, trying to extend the heel away and balancing the forces, with the tailbone reaching back as the heel reaches forward. Good, and then on this 5th one, rotating the legs, feeling this deep spiral, and then working the outer thigh a little bit more. The underneath side of my body is still lifting up off the reformer. I'm trying to stay engaged in that shoulder blade, and then relaxing the neck and the jaw. And we'll do 2 more here. Good. Then from here, send the heel down and away. Slightly pivot your toe to face the ground. We're going to do 10 circles. Pull the knee up, reach the energy out of the heel, and we're going to go for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Try and elongate the joint for 3 and 2 and 1, and then reverse to go for 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Grow and narrow the pelvis. Then we do our little single leg knee bends at 90 degrees. And we're going to go for reaching for 3 and 2 and 1, and then going in to turn out and reaching for 5, spiral the leg, and 4, wrap the thigh bone around the femur for 3 and 2. Good, and last one before you allow yourself to enjoy a stretch. Okay, so for the legs in the straps series, I'm just checking in that my headrest is in an upright position, or if you're working fully flat, that's okay. And then from here, I have my straps easily accessible, so when I lie back, I can put my feet in pretty easily. And then from here, my foot bar is in its highest position, and the straps are on the springs are on 1 red and 1 blue. All right, so lying back. I'm going to start off with the IT band stretch, so I'm going to take the right hand strap and put it into the right foot. And then I'm going to elongate the leg, straightening out the knee. And to start off, I'm going to ground the hip socket and then just stretch the IT band. Really elongate the right sit bone down towards the bottom of the reformer so you can really hollow out the back. And then from here, you can slightly micro bend the left knee. Tuck the chin in towards the chest and relax the shoulders. And then from here, we're breathing throughout. And then if you'd like to increase the stretch, you can bend the knee, or you can use your hand to grab the strap and pull it towards your left. Slightly now, lifting off the pelvis. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll be here for 1 more breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And then we're going to go over to the other side. So the left strap goes to the left foot. Extend the leg out. Ground the left sit bone down so your hips are square and the left side of your back is long. Then you start to isolate by pulling the leg over to the right hand side, stretching just the IT band, and bending the right leg if you'd like to increase the forces. And then from here, you can keep stretching into the hamstrings and the IT band, and then when you're ready, you can start to lift that left hip off the reformer, going into a deeper spiral for your pelvis. Breathing throughout, trying not to arch the back. Really massaging the viscera, like the organs are really hollow here, nothing tight. Good. And then we're going to come back to center and I'm going to place both legs into the straps. And so we're going to start off with the heels pressing towards the bottom of the foot bar. So I have that like integration of the upward force. This is really helping me find my plumb line in the body. I'm connected to my crown energy in this opposition. Hollow out the back if that feels good for you, or allow a slightly natural neutral pelvis. And so as the heels send themselves out in a way, I'm going to anchor my tailbone down so that I can really elongate this space at the top of the hamstring, opening up the backs of the knees, curling the toes towards me, and really trying to get a lot of stretch in my Achilles and the fascia around my heel. Then inhaling and exhaling, brush the heels down, seeing how the core engages in different planes. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. 7 more. Narrowing the pelvis, elongating the legs. And 6. And 5. And 4. Squeeze the lats on the back for 3. Relax the jaw and the neck. And let's do 1 more here. And then we're going to rotate the legs to turn out. Let's do 5 and turn out. Inhaling and exhaling. Keeping the hips natural. Turning out the legs to get a little bit of a different stretch in your lateral fascia. And let's do 3 more. Engaging the pelvic floor slightly more in the exhale for 2. And last one. Let's go to leg circles. So you're going to brush the heels out. Tailbone down, engage the core. Rotate the legs as they hit 90, and then give yourselves a slight point at the end. So flex the feet, rotate the bones, widen the legs, and then point at about 45-degree angle. Or you could also just keep the legs pointed or keep the legs flexed, whatever felt good for you. Inhaling, slide the rib cage down and magnetize the pelvic floor towards the diaphragm. We've got 5 more. 5. Inhaling in the back body, exhaling, squeezing the core. And let's do 3. And 2. And last one. Reverse your circles. So we'll reach the heels down, rotate the legs slightly into a point, and then flex. And 8 more. And 7. And 6. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Nice. And then from here, Peter Pan. So we're going to rotate both legs, put a lot of pressure in the left leg as it bends, so you can rotate and spiral the right leg out. And then you're going to gather the thighs together, rotate. And other side, inhaling and exhaling. We're going to do 1 more here, keeping the pelvis in its natural position, whatever is natural for you. And then we're going to go into skipping. So it's a similar action to your Peter Pan, but it's in parallel. Again, the pressure can be in that leg. It's also just allowing you to feel the beautiful stretch in that elongating leg. And engaging in the top of the sit-bone connection. And then let's go back to our Peter Pans. Inhaling, right leg. Breathing throughout. Trying to get that wrapping sensation and finding the backs of the legs. Connecting the breath and the movement. And back to your skipping. Left leg. And right leg comes up and straight. And let's do 1 more set of our Peter Pan. So we'll reach all the way out. Inhaling, exhaling. Narrow the pelvic floor, and then skipping for the last 4. Right leg comes up, into your 90-degree bend. So again, anchoring the tailbone. You're going to reach the legs out in 45. You can go any height that feels good for you as long as you're not building tension in any other part of the body. We're going to go for 9 and 8 and 7. Squeeze the core. Integrate core and legs for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3. Check in with tension in other parts of the body for 2 and 1. And then rotate the legs out, knees wide. Glue the heels together. Feel the spirals of the legs. And we'll go for 9 and 8 and 7. Rotate the ankles, the knees, and the upper thighs. And we'll go for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And then from here we'll go into our diamond hinge. So you can have soles of the feet together flat, or you can point them, or you could flex. We're rotating the legs and initiating this movement with our upper thighs as we brush the legs down for 10 and 9. 90 degrees at the hips. Knees don't bend for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Beautiful. Hang out here with your legs in a nice 90 degrees. You can soften the knees ever so slightly, but keep the flex in the feet. Try and open up the fascia deep in your lower back. The hamstrings, imagining them widening. The calves are releasing. And you're breathing into your whole back body expansion. Soften the chest. So let's do one beautiful deep breath here. Inhaling. And exhaling. Good. All right, so for some nice twists, I'm just going to make sure that the straps are out of the way. I have a blue spring on for lightness. You could go a little heavier or lighter, but only by a quarter or so. And so from here, I'm also going to put the foot bar down for a little bit more space. And so you can stand nice and wide on your reformer, just depending on its height and your flexibility and how you're feeling. You can choose either the closer shoulder rest or the furthest. And then from here, we're going to inhale, elongate the spine, and then exhale, spiral the underneath side of the body. And you're going to inhale and exhaling, sending the tailbone away from the crown of the head. And if you'd like to increase the stretch, you can start to lift the upper arm. And we'll do one more, spiraling the body and reaching all the way up. And slowly coming back down to the center. All right, and repeat on the other side.